What's up guys, it's Drezzy, and welcome to Power Sip, the energy drink review series where we show you how to sip smarter and where to spend your hard-earned dime. When you say the word energy drink, what do you think of? Probably Red Bull, honestly. I think this is probably the most popular brand out there. You know, I mean, there's a lot of brands at this point, you know, people could say anything, but I think out of all of them, I think Red Bull stands at the top for being the most popular, but is it the best? That's what we're here to find out. Red Bull. This is the original. We're gonna crack this bad boy open right now. Red Bull does have a really nice flavor. I think Red Bull has a lot of really good flavors. The original being one of the best. Okay. That smell, it smells exactly how it tastes. I mean, there's literally no difference at all.
That's pretty good.
I feel like, you know, maybe it's just the sugar in general, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting the caffeine from this. When you drink stuff like Monster, when you drink stuff like Red Bull, Rockstar, it's not really the caffeine that's doing the work here, it's the sugar. And that's why, you know, it kind of leads me to feel not that great later on because of the crash. Because, you know, you have the sugar, you know, you feel good for a little while and then it's just like back to the same thing. So then you're like, oh, I need another one. But if you get the sugar-free versions, it's not that bad. All the caffeine in there is fine. It does its job. It works. The sugar, I think, is what lets the drinks down. It does taste good, you know, I'm not gonna lie. It does taste good. But I think the sugar takes away from the caffeine. What? The usefulness of it, at least, in my opinion. 16 ounces is a lot. Normally, these are sold in the 8 ounces or the 12 ounces. It's rare that you'll find the 16 ounces. And one of the biggest problems that I do have with Red Bull is the price, because even on Walmart, it says that it's $3.68. When I went to the gas station to get this, it was $4.29. That's almost double everything else that I bought so far.
Whoa, what?
I bought a Rockstar. That one was only $2. That's been the lowest price so far out of any of them. $2 for a Rockstar. It's more than double that for a Red Bull. That's the same, like, it's original, it's the same amount of ounces, like...
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And
I think that's mostly due to just how popular Red Bull is, because they know they can put that price on it and people will buy it. You know, I used to work with a guy who would buy like 2 or 3 of these a day, like sometimes even more than that. And I'd be like, bro, how do you do that? Like, those are like way so expensive and they don't even feel like they give you that much energy. How are you doing this? He's just like, I just like the taste of it. Which, I mean, like, okay, I can understand that, but like, that's crazy, bro. There's people who will spend that money to buy this, even though it's not giving them what they want, because you wouldn't have to buy like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 if it did what you wanted it to do, which is give you some energy. You know, I think the sugar-free ones are better because you don't have to deal with the sugar, you don't have to deal with the crash, whatever. I think it tastes literally almost exactly the same. So, I mean, obviously, there's better options out there when it comes to giving you energy. But in terms of flavor, I wouldn't call it the best flavor. But when it comes to originals, I think Red Bull does have the best original flavor. It is the most popular for a reason. I will say that. Good flavors. I think all the Red Bull flavors are pretty good. The only thing I don't like about it is the price. The price sucks. It could be like, you know, it's the hype or whatever. That's fine. But when it comes to an energy drink, you want this to give you energy, and it doesn't do that, and they're charging these exorbitant prices for that? I don't think that's justifiable, honestly. I mean, you could get something more powerful for less money that tastes just as good, or if not better, depending on what you get. So, is it the most popular? Sure. Is it the best? I would have to disagree. Caffeine content, 151 milligrams per 16 ounces. Not recommended for children, pregnant, or nursing women and persons sensitive to caffeine. Yeah, I would say I agree. I think it's really interesting that this used to be 2 servings per 1 can, and now it's just 1 serving for 1 can. Because it's kind of crazy that you can have an 8 ounce, which is like, oh, this is 1 serving per day, but then this is literally double that, and it's still 1 serving per day. So like, it doesn't really make sense.
What?
But whatever. I guess nobody really thinks about it too much like that. I'm asking the hard questions here. With taurine, lightly carbonated, they say. If I was just drinking it, I'd be like, yeah, it's whatever. But now that I'm actually thinking about it, it does taste a little bit less carbonated. And I wonder why they did that. I wonder if it affects the flavor or the drinking experience per se. It's interesting. Amino acid. Taurine is amino acid? I didn't know that. Apparently it's an amino acid, naturally occurring in the human body and present in the daily diet. I love how it says it has all these good things about it, and then it just has sugar. It's just made with real sugar. Yay! It's just made with real sugar. Let's go. B group vitamins. Red Bull contains niacin, vitamin B3, pantothenic acid, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. I don't know what those do. I think vitamin B12 grows your hair and your nails, which, let's be honest here, I got some nice hair. Maybe it's all the B12. Maybe it's the B12. Even for $3.68, like, that's not that bad, but it's still a lot more than everything else. And at $4.29 at the gas station, like, I just don't see a reason why you would buy it. So for that takes a chunk out of the score for me. Out of 10, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10, honestly. You know, I was gonna give it the same score as the Monster, but I think the price really drags it down. If it was the same price, I would give it a higher score, but they should know that they're charging way too much for this. It's not worth that price, honestly. And I don't think the people who enjoy it either enjoy the price. I think they just get it because that's what they're used to. But yeah, it's good for what it is, but for that price, I mean, you could get more for less, is what I'm saying. So, 5 out of 10. I would give it a higher score if it was cheaper, but it's okay, you know? Yeah! I feel okay. I don't feel really energized, but even if I did, I would say it's from the sugar, not really the caffeine. Even though this has more caffeine than the Monster, but like I've said, the Monster doesn't really do anything for me. I don't really feel like a monster. I don't feel like I have wings. I just feel like I drank sugar, which it's good. It tastes good, but that's not what you're looking for when you're getting a drink to give you energy. The lightly sparkling energy drink gives you wings for gaming, work, school, sports, pre-workout, music festivals, and on the go. Made to be vegetarian and free from wheat, dairy, gluten, and lactose. That's a W. But if you're taking this for a pre-workout, you're actually insane. That's crazy. Taking Red Bull as a pre-workout is crazy. 210 calories? That's not terrible. I mean, it's mostly sugar. I think the sugar-free, let's look at the sugar-free. Okay, so the sugar-free has 0 grams of sugar.
Wow! Incredible!
And it's 25 calories. It's got 4 grams of carbohydrates. It's got all the same vitamins and everything, from what it seems like. You can have literally the same thing for, like, almost none of the calories. Which, if you're just, like, self-conscious about your calorie intakes, I would say sugar-free is definitely the way to go. But even still, for that price, it's crazy. You can get, like, 5 or 10 calories worth of a drink that has more caffeine, that has probably better stuff in it for you anyway than Red Bull. Unless you just really like the taste of Red Bull. Which is fine, you know, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying there's better options. I think the sugar-free would probably get a better score, but, I mean, it is the same price. God damn it, Red Bull does taste good, though. It's like carbonated apple juice, almost. Like, it's fucking good. Yeah! Vitalizes body and mind. Does Red Bull give you wings? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I'm pretty sure they had to stop saying that Red Bull gives you wings for some reason. Somebody told me that recently. And I was like, why? Because I guess they got into trouble, like some people thought that it actually gave you wings.
So that was a f***ing lie.
I enjoyed it. 5 out of 10 though. The price really does lower the score a lot. It would be higher, but I feel like 5 out of 10 is perfectly reasonable for something this average for such a high price. That's crazy. I still can't believe it was that expensive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave me a comment. Let me know what's up. This has been Drezzy from PowerSip, helping you sip smarter.